Okay, welcome. I've got Frank Aldrich here, and Frank's going to take us through the whole theory here as we want to go from doing things for free to getting paid. Now, just go through the 8 different areas that you think you need to have in a little workshop or a consultation exercise if you're going to be paid, and then what I want you to do is give us a couple of tips on the number 1 area that you think is, if you're only going to do one of them, what would it be and what would your tips be?
Yeah, sure. So from a pure project management point of view, the areas I want to cover off with a client in one of these right track workshops is all these things: background, objectives, stakeholder analysis, risk analysis, needs and wants analysis, who's going to be involved, who's going to make decisions, and who has to sign things off. But we do this, it's a 2-hour workshop, and but now and then we can't get 2 hours. So to answer Rich's question, if you're only going to pick one, what would it be? And it's this one here. And I guess this is what I used to do before I developed the Right Track workshop. So it's a needs and wants analysis. So what's that? We're looking at what this client wants and what they need around this project. And so the first thing I've got to do is I've got to brainstorm up with them, and typically I'll do this on a whiteboard, but brainstorm up with them, what do they need and want out of this project? Then we've got to wrestle out of them, this is the trickiest part, wrestle out of them what is a need and what is a want, because typically they think they're all needs. And there's some little techniques for that, but once we've done that, then we can rank the wants, and it's just right from the most important down to the least important.
And how do you use the ranking? So later on, right?
Yeah, and the rankings then are used for, we've got a little template that we use for this, but it's basically it's like a weighted analysis, so that when you score things against that, so if you're looking at an option or looking at a scenario, you can then say, well, how does this one fit those different rankings? And then you score them against that, and it'll give you a weighted attribute type answer. So it'll then say, oh, that one scores better than that one. And so it's really useful for making decisions, and it's really useful for steering clients, particularly if they've got a limited budget and they want all these things, but oh no, we haven't got enough money. Okay, what's more important than the other one? And it's best to do that at the outset, so you've got it nice and clear in your head, rather than when you're in the middle of something and then they start getting all emotional. Okay. So we've just found it to be really effective.
So these are all the things, if you're going to get paid, and if you look to get paid for what you used to do for free, these are the type of things that you would need to have in a session. Frank's saying this is number 1. There will probably be a button below if you're interested in having a look at getting access to all these, the training for all these and how to set it up and run it. There'll be a button below you can click on, or a link. Go through and have a look, because this is the stuff that gets you paid when you used to work for free.